Check one. There we go. Microphone sound is working. Too close. Hey, what? There's sound. I was talking to nobody, and it wasn't doing anything. So I blamed a cat. I blamed this cat. Hey Ripley, are we ready to start? Are you a big fart? Why do I think I am? Oh, this thing over here. Alright, that'll be fine. Oh, for the love. Okay, one more thing, Ripley. Can I reach it from here? There we go. And that has to be fixed. Put this back here. No. Throw this over here. Alright. There. Where'd my pencil go? Okay, pencil. We got music. We got some internets. We got some rockin' beats. All we need is a theme for what we're gonna draw, or what we'll draw on a stream. Ripley. Hey, Ripley, hey. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow. Okay, everything else for set. That's good. That's good. All right, Ripley. Just like I need a slight bit of... All right, that'll do. Pretzel, stop. Thank you, pretzel music. Now we do this. And in theory, if I hit this button... Ripley? Thanks, sweetest angel.
Tell your friends, and tell your hot mom.
Hot mom.
There's no such thing as grownups.com.
.com. Why am I doing this? Okay, and then we press 1. And it's... Click. There we go. All right. Everything seems to be in sync. Calm down. My name is Curtis, and this is No Such Thing as Grown Ups Live. There is also a podcast that's sitting on my computer waiting to get uploaded. I just need to finish editing it, but I wrote a story over the weekend instead. Hey, Space Goonie. And Space Goonie managed to tear herself away from the impeachment hearings that she's been watching all day. How, I can't even comprehend. And with me as always is Smilo. Happy as a clam he is. He's loving. So this is Christmas, and all through the year, another year something, and something else in fear. And Major Penguin is here, and of course behind the camera, running everything, as always, is my sweetest angel, Ripley, the thumbless tech wizard. How's it going, Ripples? Yeah. It totally looks like a big heavy wall. We'll address that in a second. Other than that, I grabbed a few reference pictures in the last few seconds before the stream started, so I'm just going to start doodling. But I don't know. I didn't come up with any sort of theme. Let's put the shoulder here. What if I actually measured stuff? What if I actually measured stuff for once? And planned things? What if I planned something? Let's plan something. All right. That's one of the main problems not being on the right camera. With this is really light, so you won't see it for a minute anyway. Using reference photos of people with big, flowing, lustrous hair when you're gonna take their head away and put a dinosaur head on it. And I'm like, what are your shoulders doing back there? Don't make me learn anatomy. That's why I got a picture to look at, so I don't need to learn. But you just gotta learn. You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, also run, etc. But he said as he drew a butt. Yeah, it's crazy. I genuinely kind of keep forgetting that the impeachment hearing is going on, just because when I do watch Colbert, they're like, "Hey, here's what's going in the impeachment world," but also here's what the president's up to, as if this isn't going on. Like, why isn't he at his own trial? Why does nothing make any sense? Why is everybody running around grabbing and abusing and stealing and being crazy? And somehow it's just like, yeah, we saw him do that, and it's adorable. It's adorable, isn't it? Like, no, nothing. Most things aren't adorable. You know where people learn to say things are adorable? With children. Oh, look at that. Isn't that adorable? Isn't it? Oh, how it just smeared poop everywhere? Yeah, because it's a weird little thing doing it with those big Disney eyes, that makes it adorable. But eventually these things are not going to be adorable, but we're going to keep desensitizing ourselves with a surplus of YouTube montages of children hurting themselves and falling over in snowsuits and doing horrible things that, yeah, are hilarious on a children fail montage. Absolutely hilarious. But still not adorable though. Not adorable. Awful situations. But yeah, to watch something like that all day long just breaks my brain. That's the idea of that. It's just like I can't even imagine like just watching a little bit on Colbert and the fact that it's just like, so anyway, this person talked and they just said how everything is wrong, and they were like, but it's not wrong, so don't worry about it. Like, wait, what? You just said all the things, and you were like, but like, are you a dad in the 40s? You can't do that anymore. You can't just be like, don't worry about it. That's just the wife talking. You don't know. You know how wives talk. Like, yeah, no. With sense and reason. Yeah, no. You guys don't make any sense. But you know, rarely does anything make any sense. And I guess the other. Meanwhile, Space Goonies here, but past the keeper of the peace here at No Such Thing as Grown Ups Alive. He is glued. He's glued. He's in another room, frantically absorbing, eating all of the horrific nonsense rhetoric. It's just rhetoric. That's all it is. Ever since I learned the word rhetoric so many years ago, I'm like, oh my god, everything. It's all rhetoric, man. It's all rhetoric. Like, what does that mean? It's a specific word they came up with for when politicians are just saying stuff just for the sake of like saying stuff. Like the same reason. Here's how my secret's revealed. Here's how my anxiety manifests itself the most. Without going into too crazy detail, I keep talking forever. Like, why? What kind of defense mechanism is that? It doesn't make any sense. And it's like, no, it makes total sense. Because if I just keep talking forever, then it's less of a chance that other people... Oh, this arm should be back way further. Way further. I didn't... What? How do I... Just erase. Just use the eraser. But yeah, it's like there's a whole word for it where it is just like... Yeah, I'm just filling the silence in case somebody else decides to fill that silence with something horrific. The same as, just like in the stream the day when it's just like, here I am just saying all the things, talking about stuff, do. Oh, somebody suggested I draw something. What are you suggestion? Oh, You're just suggesting, like, you're going to spell it out one letter at a time. Like, all right, maybe you watch this and you're into the countdown fever as we are here at the No Such Thing as Grown Ups live stream. And I was like, no, he's just writing out the N word. He's just writing out the N word for the sake of being wicked racist. So in my world, that's what I'm doing. Is just like, if I can create a Sonic the Hedgehog bubble of protection with just like, here's some of the crazy stuff. You want to be crazy? I got crazy stories, but that are harmless and fun. Or help me point out how what you're about to say is unacceptable. Like, before you, one sec, I have no idea what story you're going to tell, but right before you do, let me give a little quick tirade about how I don't really tolerate these random bouts of racism and sexism. So anyway, what were you going to say? What? You were going to say something? And then it gets real awkward real fast. Like that day, I held aloft my magic sword, which is my head and words, and she told this joke that I'm like, I know this joke. I've heard this joke before. So before she's even telling it, and like, I'm going through it in my head and revising it and just realizing, like, this particular joke isn't even a racist joke. This is actually just a joke about a situation where the races don't matter whatsoever. You could just say, and again, at this point, if I do have a Google Doc, I have a document somewhere where it is detailed in some way, written down for my own annals of history. But it was one of these, it was, yeah, totally, where it just kept, focusing on a specific race and using one of the lesser accepted terms for that race of people. And I'm just like, actually, now that you say this joke in a way that, was so labored, the way I'm telling this story right now, it was a very labored telling of the joke where they couldn't quite remember it, so I was just filling it in with like non-offensive ways of finishing it. And she's like, "Oh, you're ruining my joke." Like, no, actually, like, I'm fixing it, because if you just continue with the route that I'm pushing you down, it's actually a funny joke, and it works, and I don't have to go to bed angry. But if you want to finish it your way, yeah, then I have to go to bed angry. And she very poignantly was like, no, like, that's funny because, like, because those people are funny. Like, not in the context you're saying. You're like, there's funny. No. Anyway. Life is hard. And that's how I see all of politics right now. It's just a big old, hey, guess what? You're evil. Yeah, but you're evil for these reasons. No, but you're evil for these reasons. Guys, you're both evil, and you're trying to figure out who is less evil, and then you're saying, like, well, I'm a little less evil than this guy, so then I should be in charge. Like, no. You both should be pushed into a river, and then reasonable people should step up. Oh, it comes up. It still comes up. It's pretty amazing. Like, when I go back home, I am very surprised at the different ways it still comes up. And when I'm like, in my reaction to it, they usually explain it with, oh, no, I don't mean it that way. I mean it in the way where, how, I'm making something function better. Like, really? You couldn't come up with any other way to say that, oh, I MacGyvered this, which is the correct term to use. I MacGyvered this back together, or even I A-teamed this. I A-team montage this is probably the best way. If you're like, hey, how did you get this thing put together? Like, I just A-team montaged it together, or I MacGyvered it. Again, standard is MacGyvered. But yeah, sometimes people say, no, I N-worded it. Like, I've never even heard that before. Why is what? What is it? Yeah, no, I just N-worded it. You're spelling MacGyver very wrong. MacGyver starts with an M, man. MacGyver starts with an M. All right. Oh, I didn't assume. I didn't assume. But anyway, Milo, buddy, looks like you got yourself. Where am I looking? Where are your eyes? These eyes. Yeah, I know it's weird. So you got yourself a little wall and stuff. Yeah, it's Christmas time. Like it's Christmas time. So I mean, I got myself a little Christmas wall, a little Christmas hat, a little Christmas beard. It's pretty much the greatest thing. It's pretty much yeah. No, it's not. It's November. It's November. We've been through this. Yeah, it's November, so it's Christmas time. I mean, Halloween happened, and then it's Christmas. Like it's Christmas time. So sing along with your Christmas rhyme. Thumpity thump thump, thumpity thump thump. Frosty, here we go. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But yeah, I mean, there's a little tree here already. I see you forgot to put your stockings on your little wall. So joke's on you. No, yeah, no, I bet too. Super busy, super busy. Totally forgot. But next time, probably, maybe I'll remember. No, I probably almost definitely won't. That's probably, they're fine. I'll keep those somewhere else. Oh my. Couldn't find the button. Anyway. Here we go again, I guess. This is definitely earlier than you were last year. But I mean, I don't know, it gets earlier all the time. I went down the road Monday night, and so many like light displays were up in front yards that I was like, this is really nice. Like maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't go anywhere last winter. Maybe I didn't leave my apartment at all. And that maybe is a definitely. I definitely didn't leave my apartment at all last winter. Because why bother? It's cold and it's gross and whatever. So I just didn't notice that it wasn't just the stores. It was everywhere that was already decorated. And I mean, even just within Instagram, I want to say Space Shark. Laser Sharks, she posted like, oh, my Christmas tree's up, like here's my decorations. Like, what? It does look kind of nice though. It does feel like it already feels like Christmas is 2 minutes away anyway. So I'm like, yeah, I guess, I don't know, there's bandwagons. Why not jump on them, especially if you enjoy it? Like just like with Halloween, if you like it, then why not have it for a month or two if it's something that you can get away with? Like, why not? All it took to put this tree up was to get it out of the storage closet by going and walking in here, because my storage closet is pretty organized, and most things are just reach and go. That's how I try to live my life. That's kind of my new motto, is reach and go. It's the best motto to have and to know. Live your life by the reach and go. Yeah, it's the same motto as gas stations and fast food places. Yeah, it's still like definitely still seems a little bit early for all this stuff, but I don't know. I was working on Tom Selleck outfit for Milo, and then yeah, I decided no thanks. I'm going with Santa hat and Santa suit. I'm keeping the tie because it's festive and red, and I don't know. A, I just love it, and B, the wall is also great for not having to give me legs, because you're kind of lazy. You're like, you know what's easy? Quick beard. That'll take 15 minutes. But legs, oh, and a stool to put that on. I can't even. I don't know. I don't know anything about this stuff. I'm just over here existing at your whim, and then I just ramble just for fun while you look at my eyes go back and forth and decide, should I keep talking or am I done yet? But you know, you're an idiot. We're the one who's stupid. What? What would just suddenly drift to mean for no reason? Oh, am I mean? You're over here talking about how Christmas is too early? Well, what's the living room? What's the living room? Huh? Dr. Seven, what to tell Space Goody and all the people out in YouTube land what's out in the living room right now? I mean, Yeah, there's a Christmas tree in the living room right now. Maybe, or definitely there's the Christmas tree in the living room right now, and there's a wreath on your door. Okay, okay, all right. You know what? Fine, fine. The tree isn't decorated. There is a tree in the living room. It is not in Christmas shape. But um, yesterday I had some errands to run, and it was rainy and gross outside, so I'm like, I'm almost definitely not going to run these errands at all today. I'll figure out how to do them on Tuesday before the stream. And then Nellie, from the chat box over there, she calls and says, "Hey, oh my God, ah!" Not really. She calls and is like, "Oh, like my battery's dead on the car, and I gotta go pick up my kid from the thing where kids go. Like, can you help me out?" Like, yeah, of course, no problem. I'll be there in like 2 minutes, and we'll either boost your car, and you'll go get your kid, or we'll go get your kid, and then I'll boost your car, depending on what kind of time frame you have. But figure that out when I get there. So I went over to Nellie's. We went to the place where I don't know, they wrangle children and let them play things. I don't know what they do, Pokemon card fights. And I went back and boosted the car. To do. Now I'm out in the world. It was for a good reason, for a good cause. And that, makes me feel like doing stuff. That makes me feel like a person who can accomplish things even if it's raining outside. Drawing camera. And I'm like, all right, well, I have some things to do anyway. So I gotta run up to Michael's, excuse me, baby Jesus, and get some paper to do a commission do a commission that I have to do. So I figured, hey, instead of wrecking more illustration paper, I'm just going to get a big sheet of watercolor paper because I'm going to do this with watercolor. I haven't used my regular tonal markers in 1,000 years, and they're probably all dried out by now. Anyway, so I was looking for a dinosaur. Dinosaur, where can you be? Give me a dinosaur face, just for me. I could go for a Stegosaurus face. How about you guys? Yeah, Stegosaurus face? I would love a Stegosaurus face. Seems it's difficult for you to lean over and use the computer machine while your stomach is quite bent to push on your diaphragm at the same time. Is your head going to explode, good sir? Is your stomach are you going to fart yourself? Yeah, I might. I can't lean like this without pooping my pants. Stegs. Ooh. Sour. Just auto spell it for me. Making me type things out the whole way on my own. That's not even how you spell Stegosaurus. Images. Little Stegosaurus face. What do you know? Do you know your place? That one sucks. It sucks so bad. What about this one? What about this one? It's like the Stegosaurus dead. That one's weird. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. I feel like Stegosaurus is usually more fun than this, but let's... Oops. Let's grab these two guys. Hey, Macarena, where? All right, so because I was out in the world getting paper, I saw all the things. I saw all the things, and it was just so festive, and the music started. And maybe I just avoid the mall and all that stuff for the month of November normally, and or I like I know that it starts that early, but a little shorter source notes. But the music started playing, and I do love Christmas music as much as I hate it. I hate it because I love it. It's it's it has the luxury as a genre to be able to get away with like, hey, we can just have 100% just catchy whatever. It doesn't have to make any sense. We get to still stick with these old timey nonsenses. We've got built-in nostalgia all over the road, so they last forever. Even if they're terrible, like no matter what they're about, when the right person starts doing it, it's the greatest thing in the world. Um, I remember like for a minute, I think I recorded it. I recorded the cassette onto my own blank cassette that my cousin or somebody had of the New Kids on the Block Christmas album, and I thought it was like basically the greatest thing in the world. It was like, oh my god, like these hip young cool people doing these crazy awesome new Christmas songs. I love it. I love it. And as much as I mostly avoid Facebook for the constant um, flood of memes and whatnot, CTK, who pops up on here, she is a Facebook flooder, Facebook memeinator. I don't know what the term would be. I haven't come up with one yet, but yeah, one day she had a bunch of different memes that were all about the like when Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas" starts playing, and I'm just like, oh man, you're right. Like it doesn't even have to be a Christmas movie, but like what that song is like the ultimate Christmas song now. I do think so, and I'm pretty sure there's probably been some sort of charts that corroborate that as a thing. But I know that yeah, in Christmas movies especially, or when I go home for Christmas, whatever plays on the TV is usually Christmas related, and it's just like whatever, do. But then there's a part where it's just like don't want a lot more Christmas. Ding, 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 ding. And it's just like, oh my god, everything's coming together for all these characters. And this song is really pulling it together. And you know, who can argue with Mariah Carey's voice? Like you can't. Like you just can't. Even if you don't agree with any of her songs or her politics, or I don't know anything about Mariah Carey, but all I know is yeah. Nobody says, get her out of here. She doesn't sound good enough to do things. Just ain't a thing. Just ain't a thing. But anyway, so I'm in the mall, music's playing, and I'm loving it. And I'm realizing, like, I take a moment to, instead of go, ugh, there's so many aisles of Christmas still. Like, there's so much Christmas stuff everywhere already. Instead, I decided, all on my own, to be like, I can feel myself. I can catch myself. I can notice myself enjoying the Christmas music. And yeah, it's too early. It's way too early. I would rather just, live my life and not feel Christmas pressure. But this is fine. I'm just here to pick up a card and some paper, and that's it. Like, this isn't a big deal to get upset about. So I'm not going to. And that's just the thing that I just have to do anyway in life. Is just like, hey, don't get upset by everything. Sometimes you're just upset by the fact that there's the potential to enjoy things. And yeah, that's the other thing that hits me is when I am there, I think one of the things I do hate is like I'm very empathic. I'm just I just absorb everybody's feelings, no matter what they are. Once they present them, just I have to ingest this and I have to process this for a little while, whether I want to or not. And trying to take those things now and be like, what if I'm processing it as if, hey, my version is, no, I like it though, but no, I like it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was a version of me who could have and did spend a lot of time like, oh, did somebody respond to my little bit of logic on their Facebook post? Oh, they did. Well, let me re-logic them until they understand that the cleverness and the goodness of blah, 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 or the futility of just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Or I could go enjoy things. Or I could go enjoy things. I want to do that instead. And so I'm really, really actively trying to enjoy things instead of coming up with reasons to hate them. Because why? Because why bother? And again, hey, maybe it's because half the world or whatever, this country and the other one down below are both just constantly having weird fights of, no, we should be in charge. No, we should be in charge. No, you're not in charging right. Like nobody's in charging right. Nobody is. All right. The one of the great things about Donald Trump is, oh yeah, everything that he's doing is what every politician has done. They just weren't this stupid. So they just did all of the behind closed door stuff behind closed doors, and the need to know stuff with the people who needed to know, so that they got all of their secret agendas taken care of. And this guy's just like, hey, you little turdy fat turd, you're a fat little turd. Come at me, bro. Like, what are you doing? That's not how. But it is just like, oh yeah. Everybody is crazy. Like, everybody's crazy. I can't remember. I think it was called Charlie Wilson's War. Very amazing, interesting, just mind-bending movie. That was about that. Just like, I'm pretty sure I'm getting this wrong though. But I think it was the Tom Hanks movie where he's like traveling around and he's like making deals with people for the governments to either have war, to stop war over here, to get the things to do this. And so many just like quid pro quo-y backdoor shenanigans, but told in a way that it's like, this is what has to be done to get stuff to happen over here. It's crazy. And it is, what it is, just like, yeah, everyone's just lying. Everyone's just lying to each other to get certain things. And same as always, if you do it under the guise of, no, this is for the good of everyone, well, then you can justify anything. That's the magic of rationalization. But yeah, that's all I think of when trying my best not to talk about the politics stuff. But in the retail world, once I hear a song I like, I want to be like, thumpity thump thump, thumpity thump thump. Look at that frosty go. Thumpity thump thump, thumpity thump thump, over the hills and snow. There must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found. Well, when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around. And just not being weird like that, especially now, even though they've already got Christmas hats on and they're pushing Christmas stuff. Like, you must have heard this song 50 times by now, or at least 5 versions of it. And that's when, and I'm sure I do this every year probably as well too, where I'm like, I went out and I enjoyed the Christmas music. Hey, the decorations. Maybe I'm going to get into Christmas. And then I'm out for, 20 minutes too long. And I'm like, oh, yeah. This is old now. I'm done. This is why Christmas needs to only be like 3 days, because, there's kind of not enough songs. And, they get old real fast. There must have been some magic in that cheeseburger he ate, 'cause when he put it in his gut, He started to decide our fate. Oh, trumpety trump trump, trumpety trump trump. Look at that fatty go. Trumpety trump trump, trumpety trump trump. On a helicopter he go. Oh man. But they're also kind of the easiest songs to have fun with, to make up other words for as well. And I mean, we can tell that when we watch a stream like this all year round, and 90% of my songs are either the rescue to the tune of Rescue Rangers, DuckTales, or Deck the Halls, or a handful of Christmas songs. They never really leave my head. Nothing really does. So I'm okay with it. I'm not like, all right, I'm going to get some Christmas stuff. But whilst at Michael's, I'm like, hey, $30, like an $80 Christmas tree for $30? It's a pretty nice looking Christmas tree. It's still pretty little. It's probably the same size as the tree that I have in the living room. Technically, I have 2 Christmas trees in my living room right now. Oh, man. Your stay-at-thon not having a bunch of Christmas trees is very quickly falling apart. Remember all of the other Morning Everybody where you were like, no, it's too many Christmas trees. Stop with the Christmas trees. Now I'm like, hey, I got a brick wall. And you're like, I've got 2 Christmas trees. Actually, are we counting the one behind you? Because that's 3 Christmas trees. Yeah, 3 Christmas trees. There's 3 Christmas trees. But one of the Christmas trees is just a tree. It's more of an outdoor, like, patio tree. It looks like it goes outdoors. It's got, fake pine cones on it. There's definitely at least 2 episodes about me saying no to the trees, and Milo just bringing tons of trees in. Yeah, so last year, I'm like, yeah, F it. I'm just going to get a little tree. So I got this little tree, and I'm like, this doesn't really look like much of a Christmas tree. I'm just going to put it here in the living room by this shelf, because I've got a perfect space where a plant should go, I think, but the light doesn't hit it right, so a plant would die there. So I just put that there. It's small enough that I'm like, all right, the 2 Christmas decorations out of 7 that I have cover this whole tree, so that's weird. So it's just a tree. It's just a tree in the living room that happens to be pine and maybe has some lights built into it. But I also forgot that I had lights built into it and haven't turned them on all year round. So I'm like, I pick up this tree for like a second, then I'm like, I'm not here for a Christmas tree. And also, this is Michael's. So if I can get this tree for $30 at Michael's, I can go to any other store and probably get a $30 tree that's more of a Christmas tree rather than similar to the tree I already have, wasting $30. But somewhere in my brain, I'm like, oh, I'm on a Christmas tree mission all of a sudden, and this is not what I planned on. So, paid for my watercolor paper. I got some more markers, so much so that my marker bin is jammed to the rafters now. I think I have like 8 markers that don't fit, that are just still in a package. So I went meandering around the mall for about 4 minutes, because the next store over is one of those garbage discount stores. They always have stuff that's on sale. Seemingly, all the stuff that I need and use is usually, I feel, reasonably priced. Maybe that's because I'm cheap and I just buy cheap stuff, or I'm the luckiest luck boy. But yeah, so, and again, just that, where it's like, well, it's a Michael's tree, so it's pretty nice. But also, here's a fun little thing. See this bin here for markers? That was louder than I thought. It's a decent little bin. It's not bad at all. It says Craft Flow, FLO, on the thing. I think I paid $3 for this. $3 for this bin. It's a good little plastic bin. plastic hinges, this little foot thing to help it stand up, which I didn't notice, but explains why it stands up so well. It's a good bin. $3 at a dollar store. Then I went to Michael's, and I'm like, what is... This is exactly the same. Like, and I felt it, I was like, yep, this is exactly the same. They both feel kind of still a little bit cheap, but then when I felt the Michael's one, that was $34 and said art bin on it instead of art flow or whatever, craft flow. And I'm like, this is insane. These are definitely from the exact same factory. They're the exact same quality. And this has a $30 markup for a $3 bin. Maybe I paid $4 for it. I don't know. But either way, it was just like, what? So, gotta try and be careful, because every once in a while, its quality is affected sometimes. But every once in a while, it's just like, they have this at the dollar store. And it's the exact same one. Same factory, same everything. Same name sometimes. Not even like, here's the knockoff name. It's just, they're selling these in Michael's? Like, yeah. We also sell them for what they actually cost, $1. So I went over to the discount store, and they've got a bunch of trees out front. Some of them look pretty decent. Some of them look awful. And once again, another one is $3, but it's like an actual Christmas tree, a full-size Christmas tree. And I'm like, all right, I already decided in my head, I'm not really paying more than $30, $36 for a Christmas tree, but I want one that looks like, a good $60, $80 Christmas tree. And this one looked fine. It looked fine, and I'm like, yeah, all right, I guess I'm doing this. At this point, I fully had it in my head that I'm like, I'm going to go home, and I'm probably going to decorate the tree. I'll probably put up some Christmas music. And I was like, no, I'm not. It's Monday. I'm not putting on Christmas music and decorating a tree on a Monday night. That's insane. Plus, I already had 100 other things that I planned on doing. But I ended up farting around at the mall for a while instead. Where did my... Oh, I see. So whatever, I got the tree, I brought it home, I put it together and pushed it off this side, and because it's a $30 tree, it's even more mashed together in its packaging, so it's like, alright, I'll let you unfold for a little while. But still, that same weird thing where I'm like, well, now it's out there, so every time I go by, I have to like pull the branches and get them in a nice branchly fashion. But also while at Michael's, they had a couple bins of wreaths. And I was like, I do want to put a wreath on my door. The hallway is just kind of like, so drab and dead ever since people stole the pictures that I put up on the wall in my hallway. And I'm like, well, whatever. I'm definitely not getting a wreath that's like more than a few dollars if it might get stolen anyway. Because it was Christmas time last time when my pictures were stolen, which prompted me to put a sign up on the wall that said, hey, I hope you stole those to give as gifts, and you're welcome, you're garbage. So I was like, all right, I'm totally also on a bit of a wreath mission. These are too expensive. I'll just get something from the dollar store. Odds are they'll have like just a little whatever wreath that'll still look fine. So eventually went over to the dollar store carrying a tree and some lights for the tree. and looked at the wreaths. And these wreaths were just not good enough. They're just not good enough. Yeah, I have standards. I have standards when it comes to wreaths, apparently, and I didn't know. But now I do know, G.I. Joe. So I'm looking at them and I'm like, well, if I do get this wreath, it's got almost the right amount of like red stuff on it, which is what I want. Maybe I'll get this and then I'll just repaint over a bunch of it. And maybe I'll just get a little crafty tonight and I'll make this wreath a little bit better because it really needs not that much more work to be good enough for me. And then the more I thought about that, the more insane I felt. But as I say it now, you're not fluffing right if you're getting cuts on your hands. That's a horrible, dirty joke. The math that goes into, yep, I'll take some paint that I already have, or I'll go get some red glitter paint or whatever to match this stuff. And doing that, that'll be like 5 minutes worth of stuff. I put the wreath up on the wall, and you're good to go. But I'm like, no. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what made more sense to me at the time. I'm going to take one of these plain wreaths from the dollar store. Still looks nice and full, still looks fine, but it's just a plain green wreath. Not good enough. And I'm going to go over to this side of the aisle. I'm going to get a couple of similar to what's on this other wreath that I like, except better. Red decorations, some like little poinsettia type things, those red berries, and that's about it. So pepper those around it, and I'm just like, took like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like, that's awesome. Super impressed with myself. Up on the door. I'm like, oh my god. I put a wreath on the door. I'm already I'm like, that's it. I'm not doing much more decorating for Christmas, but I'm pretty much decorated for Christmas. Other than the tree was still in a box at that point. Then I took the tree out of the box just to see, hey, is this even good enough, or should I just return it right away? I was like, yeah, this is fine. It just needs a little fluffing and loving, and it'll be tree-tastic in no time whatsoever. But yeah, it also still feels a little early to be decorated for Christmas. So I don't know, I'm going to try to at least wait till the weekend to do all that stuff. Maybe even a Friday evening. If I'm not busy doing laundry, instead, do the Christmas music, whatever. Try to get a little bit closer to December because it is weird. It's really far away. But every once in a while, there's a little bit of a Christmas miracle, and you go to a store, go to other places. And in this case, it was just going down to Nellie's place, and like just before her street, there's like one house with a bunch of just bright white lights. I think shaped either just over the bushes and or some deer shaped ones as well. Like, this is awesome. Like, yeah, I wanna feel that enjoyment of liking Christmas lights that I had when I was a kid, instead of just, thinking, electricity, blah, 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 whatever. Let's enjoy something instead of making up faults and things to worry about for no reason whatsoever other than, hey, it's fun to talk about things that are annoying. But in this process, I should say, so I got the tree, grabbed some dollar store stuff, then I went to the dollar store cashier, which was, I would say, from my perspective anyway, a pretty young girl, like probably early 20s at best. Yeah, so that's the other thing too, is like I'm terrible for like not turning on lights and just living by the glow of the computer or the television, and also having Christmas lights. It makes it a little brighter and festive at the same time. And I totally forgot that the other tree had lights, or else I probably would be using those all the time. But the lights that I did put on that tree are right there and right there. I pulled them off, so it has been Christmas in here all the year. I guess those are technically Christmas lights back there as well, but those are all other stores. So yeah, the dollar store girl was like, blah 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 Christmas, and I'm like, yeah, just getting this stuff or whatever. So I don't know. And she's like, oh well, when do people put up their decorations? Which, you know, I'm definitely not the first person through the store today. It was in the evening as well, to have been, you know, brought through Christmas stuff. So this is not the first opportunity to be like, hey, what's the deal with Christmas? Or the real explanation, hey, you seem to be someone who has no problem with just answering questions, whether or not you know the answer, and you'll talk. And not make fun of me for asking a question like, when do people decorate for Christmas? And I'm like completely, I don't know, just a little bit broken by the question, because I'm like, what? When do people, what? Well, and before I could answer her, I basically had to answer myself and say, hey, I guess you're not decorating for Christmas tonight, idiot, because it's definitely not time yet, because she works at a store that sells all the Christmas stuff. And she's asking, when should people do that? Do you think you have a problem? Yes, I think I do right now. Thanks for pointing that out. It's a little early. I'm like, but my answer to her was, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago? I think 2 weeks ago. I just noticed today most people have their yards fully done up. And you know, once again, I'm so far behind already that I'm, you know, that's why I normally am not into Christmas, because it's like, all right, I'm ready to decorate now. Why? Who cares? Christmas is almost over. Like, no, it's almost started. Yeah, that means it's almost over. You missed it. Like, I'm not good at calendars. Why can't things happen on the time that they happen? Like, oops. Boop. So she proceeds to tell me, she's like, oh yeah, I guess, like, you know, my family puts it up pretty soon. But then I was like, oh yeah, like, you're not new to this country. And then she just told me like her whole thing, like, when do you start decorating for Christmas then? Why did I just become this authority? But I was sitting there with a fake tree, and she was like, oh, I wish we could get a fake tree. Like, oh, yeah, what? This one was $30. They still have more. She's like, no, like, at my house. So, yeah, I guess that's also why she was young. She lived with her parents. She's like, we always get a fake tree. So, like, upstairs, we always get a real tree. So, upstairs, we have a real tree. And then sometimes my mom puts a fake tree downstairs. And I'm like, why do we need a tree in both places? And my mom was like, you know, it's nice. It makes it look nice. I like having trees everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. If you got two living rooms, might as well have two trees. I only have one living room. Some people have none. But the real issue was she's allergic. She's allergic to trees, to like spruce trees in her living room. And she's like, every year I basically beg, can we just get a fake tree instead of a real tree? And my mom says, no. And I'm like, yeah. To some people, weird traditions are more important than your life. And I pointed at her. Your life. I can't tell if I'm pointing at the camera or not. And she's like, yeah, basically. Like, that's bananas. I was like, but yeah, that's Christmas in a nutshell. Like, that's why I hate Christmas when I do hate Christmas, because of things like that. Where it is like, what do you mean you're not doing blank? Like, because I'm not. I don't have to do all the things. Again, like, rather than go through my weird references, but my one of my go-to references is like, why aren't you sitting down with a toy and making a video with it for 5 hours in a row, frame by frame? Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you doing that? I don't see why everybody doesn't do that. It doesn't make any sense to me. But yet, you can't comprehend that. I'm like, no, I'm not going to get a tree this year. Why? Because I don't know anybody in this town. Nobody's going to come to my place. And when they do, they're going to see a tree. And then I don't know. I don't care. What? What are we doing? But this year I feel like, yeah. Somebody will see this tree. But mostly just that. We're just like, I'm just gonna enjoy Christmas instead of not enjoying it. Yeah. Don't even get me started on animals. But I was the same way. Like, the litter box, after a while, I'd say I got used to it. But I never really got used to it. There was always a point where I'm just like, oh my god, I'm spending my whole life trying to make sure the litter box is always clean. Because the slightest little bit of use, it's like it's just inside me. I can feel it. And you don't realize it till you're away from it for a while. I'm like, oh, this is awful. I hate this. And then the smell of all the different kinds of cat litter are just like, this is just awful. Like, even without the animal using the bathroom in it. And then Ebenezer Prue showed up. And I said, but Patrick! What? Why? Thanks, Dietary Arrow 560. I hope that dietary arrow is pointing in the right direction. Why did I do that? 'Cause you're a dietary arrow, and you're guided straight and true. And your dietary arrow is shooting right through us and right through you. That doesn't make sense, and I don't care. It's a Christmas miracle. And then we'll do it again, 'cause it's the Christmas cycle. I don't understand how many times do I have to change where my alert is without it just changing sizes after I walk away? And why can't I see alerts? Oh, that's the wrong window. Hey, I've been talking over here and you weren't even making a voice. Sorry, Milo. Didn't realize I clicked away, Meryl. Squinting my way. Yeah, it's totally off. So annoying. So locking things doesn't matter. That one seems fine-ish. I don't know. Anyway. Wrong place. There we go. Drawing. There we go. All right, so that's that, and then we put some colors on. Lost all my trains of thoughts. So yeah, that girl's allergic. Family doesn't care. $30 tree. $30 tree. And then of course I've got my all-year tree. Little all-year tree boy. All-year tree boy. Could I be an all-year tree boy? No! You can't be an all-year anything. You don't get to have more than 3 sentences, or else it just rottens. It raws out my throat, so that's all you get. But if I was an all-year tree boy, I could be the most special boy of all of the trees, and people would leave presents underneath me. Yeah, that's basically what they would do, Bat Guy. But Uh, it's just a tree. I just happen to call it the all-year tree boy. It's just a tree that's out there all year. It's not really, there's no presents underneath it. There was like twice, but that's about it. Now I got too many colors. Dare I try these new markers that I randomly got? Stedletters? Stetler? Don't enjoy that. Always doing purple. Always doing purple. Let's do purple again. See how these Stedler purples work. And I'll need some blue jeans. Grab some of this blue jean-ish color here. A little bit of this gray. And what color is this shirt gonna be? There's too many markers. There's way too many markers in here. Now, I definitely need a different kind of marker system. This is definitely only for transporting. So many markers though, right? So many markers. Look how deep this is. Now I'm covered in markers right now. It's raining markers. Hallelujah, it's raining markers. Watch your eyes, it's raining markers. From the skies, so many markers. There's a 12-hour testimony of all our lies, telling you who lived and who certainly dies. There's only one way to be sure of the tale. Check the transcript of my perfect call whale. Chimney. This isn't very brushy. This isn't very brushy at all. But let's see what happens here. Which one's darker? Cap-wise, this looks darker. Oh, I'm terrified. Terrified of new markers. They gave their plea with no accuracy. They lied and they refrained from swear. I'm sure you'll remember where you were then, 'cause you know you'll be there before what? Impeachment hearings today. Impeaching your whole life away. You could be riding a spaceship or drawing a poetry tome, but instead you're listening to rhetoric, sir, filling up your old home. Sing us a song. You're the impeachment man. Tell us part of the tale. Will he be free to run the country, or will he rot in some jail? That's what she said when she questioned him, sir. How big is this in your hand so absurd? Oh, what are we doing, and where have we been? Everyone's drunk on some old-fashioned gin. It's Christmas time in the Parliament, and all of the characters are there. One of them has the silliest hair, and no one has 2 bags of sense. But they're all raising our rents. Speaking of water, Patrick. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah. No, I just made you to cut to me and not to you. I didn't need your mewing. This week's episode is brought to you by thirst quenching water. This is a straw thing. I shouldn't pour it like that. I would have almost just poured water everywhere and drowned myself. But that's right. Similar to the sticker, but not. I don't know. There is something like this in the store. I had this one made specific for me. sucking on the straw thing is not as cool looking as just drinking normal. I should have got one that was like a drink bottle. But anyway, yeah. There we go. So that's the same as the sticker, except it's on a nice metal bottle, on a nice metal tin. Oh, we are in the drawing. But yeah, like I said before, there's that sticker's there, and the one that's on that bottle, and then we got the Goldblum Triceratops. And I say sticker, but there is water bottles. I think there's a mug. There's shirts of all of the stuff at society6.com/no such thing as grown-ups. Because there's no such thing as grown-ups. There's no such thing as grown-ups. Muffk. Okay, let's add a little water here. See how these markers react. They are water markers. See if they run nicely like a Tombow. And I'll say these Stadlers are pretty good. I do enjoy them. Are they a Tombow? No, Tombow brush pens. You'll always only be the only Tombow for me. Send me stacks of Tombows and your money. Ah! What's wrong? Your old Neith? Your old man Neith getting to you? Because you're an old man? Your Neith are not meant to be jammed up like that for however long this has been going on for? For like over an hour? That's not normal? No. You know it's not normal. But none of this is normal either. I guess that's the other thing. Just still, this is pre-Christmas episode. This is the non-Christmas episode. All of the magic of Milo. But here's what really hurt. One day when my brother was like, I actually don't like Milo. Like, no offense, but I don't really like that voice. I don't like everything about him. Actually, I don't really enjoy Milo that much. Meanwhile, I have days where I'm just like, am I just pretending this version and that's actually how I feel with things? Because, you know, for those Christmases where I was like, I'm the curmudgeon, I still had to put together all this stuff. Like I say, like, Milo brought in a bunch of Christmas trees. I sat there for hours making a bunch of Milo stuff. I think he when Milo did his rap video music song, he kind of turned and he started to like Milo again. But for a while, yeah, he was like, I just don't actually. But I'm like, yeah, I can completely see. I hate him too a lot of the times, but one of the things I hate about him is that it's still me. It's still me. But then I do get to technically enjoy Christmas on this weird level by doing these weird little Christmas specials and whatnot with imaginary characters. And I still get to maintain the curmudgeon-iness that is me. And yeah, I know. I don't know if I ever made it through the Jodie Foster movie, The Beaver, where Mel Gibson has a beaver puppet, and he can, communicate better with the world through a puppet because he blames everything on the puppet. But I'm like, yeah, this is ideal. I want to stop watching this movie, and sign me up for that, please. That sounds like a great idea. As terrible an idea as it is. Where'd my water go? There we go. But speaking of puppets, I can't reach it right now. I could probably reach it. I need a good reaching stick for over here. Again, this popped up. I didn't make a post. But if you follow Instagram and check out the stories for No Such Thing as Grown-Ups or my No Such Thing as Grown-Ups Facebook stories, the other day I got up and I decided to do a mana do with this bear puppet because I realized, this bear puppet's still just jammed up over here with these other puppets. And I haven't done anything with him in a long, long time. and the joke, the running gag with him was always every time I moved to a new place, and I'm like, oh hey bear, and he's like, oh, you locked me in a box again. And he has the same problem as Batman, was his voice is also very gruff, and it hurts after a while. But I would set up these semi-elaborate split screens where I would sit there and I would just do his whole side of the conversation, and then I would record myself separately, take myself out of the puppeting, and try to remember everything that I'd said and prompt it / react to it accordingly. But yeah, his whole thing was always, we've moved again. Like, yeah, or you put me in a box. Like, yeah, that's where you belong, in a box. Like, all these other characters get to be out. Like, yeah, but they're not really here. But I have to live in a box. Like, yeah, sorry. If you could just become all powerful like a Harry Potter, he lived under a little cupboard, and it was good for him, technically. And like, I don't know what that is. I've been in a box. I haven't seen films. And anyway, I didn't really give him that voice, but I did a mana, so that's the puppet I'm talking about. That's the context we need. It's a little bear. It's just basically a little teddy bear that had kind of a mouth thing. So I chopped open his back, sewed up the puppet hole, and made the hole go up through his body instead. Unimportant additional facts about how it works. So at work, we have little meetings every once in a while. So the team gets together and blah, blah, blah. What's going on with everybody? Yay, you working on this job, working on that. Hey, what about you? Oh, hey, business. And the puppet was in reach. So I just reached over and I grabbed it, and the camera's like around here, let's say. And then I just did and then his arm was on a stick, so I made him like scratch his head. And it was just, I don't know, funnest part of my day, really. I got to do like a weird Terminator Muppet type thing, like an animation. He's like unloading a machine gun on a screen. I made a cute little cat that's like, hello, and then scampers away. But the funnest part of my day was during a meeting and pulling out a teddy bear and having a few of the people go, oh my god, like how that thing just slowly rose into the frame. As if it was, alive and doing stuff. Like, yeah, that's what I was going for. As if I had nothing to do with this at all. So, I don't know. Again, far from a story. But that's how you have fun. That's how you have fun. When the working day is done, Cindy? No. During the working day, have fun with puppets during meetings. Hun, I don't know. That's all they really want. Some Muppet fun. When the working day is done. Muppets just want to have fun. All right, here's a thought problem. Here's a question. A little quizzical for the wizards of the world. You got your YouTube. I've got my YouTube. My YouTube is usually, hey Curtis, you're back again. Like, that's right. Guess who's back? Shady's back. What do you think I should watch? YouTube? YouTube's like, I don't know what I think you should watch. But I'm pretty sure you probably want to watch, I don't know, some Would I Lie to You? Or some QI? Or some Game Grumps? Or even some Angry Video Game Nerd? Like, which one of these things do you want to watch? Or Stephen Colbert? Like, those are the mainstays. And then, some weird offshoots. Here's some Sonic the Hedgehog things, because I've clicked on Sonic the Hedgehog things. And some other, like, video game related things because of the video game things I click on. But today, for some reason, I'm like, well, what does this say? When Niles found out where Lilith gets her money? What? Lilith? Niles? Are we talking about Frasier's wife, Lilith? Frasier's brother, Niles? What is going on right now? Why are you suggesting this? And then, boop, like, scrolling down, like, whatever. Facebook, you're drunk today. And then another one. Hey, some, Easter eggs that you missed about Lilith in, Cheers. And on Frasier, like, what? And then, like, a third one. And I'm like, okay, 3 that's it. Like, something, I have not clicked on anything Frasier, or especially not Lilith related, ever in my life? Like, ever in my life? What is this? What is this? This makes no sense. This makes no sense. Oh, that's the other thing I've mostly been watching. Do I not only know that YouTube Taskmaster has a YouTube feed? That's what I was talking about last week, and I already watched the whole first season on YouTube twice now. And yesterday or today, they started putting season 2, episode 1, the Joe Wilkinson season. So I watched some of that. And then, because that's up there, there's a few other Taskmaster links to some other seasons. So I just let those play while I was working today, because it never gets old. No matter how much I know exactly what's going to happen, I just still keep loving it. No matter what. Now, the other thing YouTube keeps suggesting to me, which I do know why, and it's my own fault, but it did suggest first, hey, check out this cheater cheating at speedruns. And I'm like, all right, like, I've had to watch some speedrun things before, so that's why that comes up. But it was like a What Culture or Watch Mojo, or not Watch Mojo, yeah, like a What Culture thing. And because of that, it led to this other thing. And I'm just like, there's a speed run for, and I can't remember what game, like maybe it was Portal, which I never really played, but I'm like, there's a Portal speed run, and then the clips or whatever, like the image that it showed just showed games that I'm like, people speed run those? So I didn't click it so much for the cheating, but just to see, like, yeah, show me how people speedrun these things. Explain that part to me while you're telling me how these people are cheaters. But it was a very poorly edited, poorly voiceovered, harmless memes. Da da da. Coming in teams. Do 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 do. They are jokes, but they're not harsh. They're harmless memes for your friends and teens. So by the end of it, I was like, ended up skimming. And I'm like, wait, am I watching this now? So it was like, well, this guy, he's notorious for cheating, and this guy does this. So I'm like, I end up basically watching a short documentary about these like 7 or 8 different speedrun cheaters of random other video games and how they got away with it. Which one of them was genius, because they played the game at like slower frame rate or something, and then sped it up to normal frame rate, so then it looked normal speed when it was actually playing faster. Whatever it was like the game itself, everything was playing super fast, and he had like a robot helping him. So there's other things where it's just like, oh, I just put a thing in, so I kind of, I make the jumps, I do the thing, it's not actually me playing. So the amount of things people do as well, where one guy was like, no, I'll prove it. I'll put a camera on me doing the controller while it's doing the game, and he clearly was not doing the same thing. But at the end, I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't even realize this is such a big arena that people live in, work in, play in, and very, very serious. I don't know what the word is. Like, it's taken like real sports for sure, which I also think are taken maybe a little too serious. Some of the stuff is supposed to be games. So anyway, because of that, now I have so many just suggestions to watch like video game cheaters in all different ways, and try my best not to watch them because I do accidentally get stuck in the like, ooh, now I'm just basically watching this weird little documentary about this gamer kid or adult or whatever, and the tricks and schemes that they pulled to be registered as number one on these speedrun boards. These, it gives me a lot of ink to work with, these Stedlers, but the Tombos are still just more watercolory. Get a little more blueshy the way I like. All right, let's grab a Tombow, bluish up that background, and do our outlines. All purple on purple. Beep, beep. TV recommendations? You got it. In this week's TV recommendations, actually, Major Penguin, you're still there. It's time for a new segment. New segment time. You've got it, sir. TV recommendations. Every week you watch something new. Not a lot, but at least one thing. One thing that I can share with you. That's not bad. That's not bad. So this week, the one thing I watched besides those same 4 British shows over and over again was... Oh, snaps. Jeff Garlin has a new stand-up special, or has a stand-up special on Netflix. And man, oh man. If you've never heard Jeff Garlin outside of Curb Your Enthusiasm or The Goldbergs, you don't even know. You don't even know. He's the greatest. He's just the greatest person in the world. Like the greatest person in the world. His old podcast, I definitely talked about it before. I can't remember if it's called like In Conversation or Oh By the Way with Jeff Garlin, because he constantly says by the way. He's telling like some showbiz stories. He's been doing comedy forever, and he's just really interesting anyway. But man, oh man, other than the fact it was like this, it felt way too short. My only problem with it was just like, it's over? What do you mean it's over? I feel like you were just getting started, Jeffrey. But yeah, I think it's Our Man in Chicago, Jeff Garlin's Netflix special. It's just the best. It's just the best. Again, just some adorable stories about people you already know about and people you don't. But all of his stories are always just amazing. If you can find it, 2 of the best things in the world are that podcast, Oh By the Way with Jeff Garlin, or whatever it's called. There's 2 episodes. One where he talks to Conan O'Brien, and they used to live together, and he used to get up in the middle of the night and make Conan do like a late night show long before he had a show, and make him interview himself. So they talk about a lot of those stories, and the other one is with Tig Notaro, which is just funny. It's just the funniest because like he is just enjoying Tig's silliness so much, and you just get to enjoy Tig's silliness so much with Jeff Garlin, and it's just, oh man, it's just a Christmas treat and a half. So much so that if I can remember, I'll try and find it and load it into my iPad for the drive home to my mom's for Christmas. I'll drop my water pen on that, and just need this to dry for a second. I'll put a big fat outline around the edge. Then we can put it up in the sheet. Put my dino drawings in my sheet. KLM01. Thanks. Yeah, Streamlabs pays my bills. I work at Streamlabs making artwork for their top streamers. Avocado shakes. Oh, I didn't even see you there. Avocado shakes and KLM. Going to sleep 'cause it's late where you live. And while this dries for a minute, I'm going to play the meow. Don't let your mom almost kill you. What? Almo? What? Oh. Who's it? What? Oh, well then turn off the computer. Oops. Turn off the computer. We're just going to play some word games unless your mom is super down with spelling games. We're going to play a quick spelling game, and then we're going to wrap up after I do a quick outline. So get out your pencils and papers. If you are new, we do play a game of No Such Thing as Grown-Ups Does Cats Does Countdown, taken from one of the British shows that I watch religiously, as do Space Goonie and Patty Prue 101. Then you gotta YouTube and stream all the time. I only do it once a week, so that's why I'm not a famous. But I don't know. I just got a few more. Eggy Trout, and a lot of numbers. Hey Eggy Trout, what's it? That's not a song. Hey Eggy Trout, what's it all about? We're about to play a word game. No doubt. KLM01, why don't you follow? Follow just for fun. We're just having a good time. So I'm gonna randomly using 50 subs. Nice. For me or for you? If you're at 50 subs, like that's awesome. You are gonna be a famous YouTuber. Hopefully you do something prominent and fun. So yeah, I'm going to go to my random letter generator here, and I'm going to give us 9 random letters, and then I'll put 30 seconds on the clock. Yeah, that's right, I got a 30-second clock. I'm a wizard. And then you'll have 30 seconds to come up with one word. Longest word wins. Winner feels good about themselves for a whole week. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. You could be Pulse codes all day. Hey there, Pulse codes. Thanks for the follow. How do you know? On your name I will wallow. Back to the drawing camp. No! Intro off. Make me a logo. No! That's one of the problems with having a job making people logos is I can't just make logos randomly and for free. But that is basically what I do for Streamlabs is make people logos. So if you if you're up in the higher enough echelons of the streamers, then they're like, hey, let us make stuff for you. But always use slobs as your streaming thing, and you'll never lose. All right, so we got N, L, and E. Those are our first three letters. Another N and an H. I don't know what kind of word this is going to come up with. I'm going to try and find some vowels here real quick. Just going to keep pressing this till we get. There's another E. I'm going to try and find a different vowel than E, but it still has to come up with randomly. I can't. So what am I going to do now? Now we're playing a game. You or everybody else, you should be in bed. Your mom's going to be upset. She better not blame me. It's not that late here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then another consonant. Let's take this C, and you can see this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what happens now is you get 30 seconds. You try to make the longest word you can. You can only use each letter once, and longest word wins. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. 30 seconds. Oh. I'm not good at spelling. I think I just got 2 5s is the best I can come up with. But yeah, usually people declare the size of their number, the size of their word in the comments. But basically, it's see, the Daily Chipmunks. That's a group of chipmunks that live on Pat and Space Goonie's step. They usually have the lowest. Pat's usually pretty good. Space Goonie in with the 5. Avocado Shake, I was about to say, she's the one that terrifies me the most. She's always coming up with the higher numbers. Everyone's evening out at 5. I'm always surprised that it's never the same 5 or the same as what I have. But yeah, whoever's there, feel free to reveal your words. Use your right words. What did I do with my brush? Heal. Leech. Ooh. Pat with leech. Space Goonie with clean. That's the first one I saw was clean. And I want to say lunch. 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 Yeah, lunch. And I was thinking like luncheon. I don't think lunchen is a word. I think you need an O in there. And clean. Clean is the best one. And that's it. So then I'll add this little outline. Helen, names don't count. Names don't count. Ripley. Yeah, I know. It also clock. Turn off. It's weird. I can't. It's hard to do angry Ripley when she's got that happy smile and big happy eyes. Old Ripley used to look so much more indignant about things. Helen saw. Now she's all like, meow, 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 meow. All right, that's good. That's enough. And then yeah, outlines at Dinosaurs. And then hopefully soon, I haven't gone through all of my stuff to see how many of these dinosaurs I've done and just sold at the local Truro Farmers Market without scanning them to later put in a book. But most of them I still have, or I have remembered to scan them. And then, yeah, then I'll make book 3. So I already have 2 books of sexy books of sexy dinosaurs that you can find at nosuchthingasgrownups.com. Remember, if you are floating around here new and you've just stopped by, swing by the Instagram and give me a follow there. And that's where I announce when I'm going live on YouTube, Twitch, Mixer. And of course, there's also a podcast that hopefully tomorrow I'll upload the new episode of that, where me and Tara talk about how you can never grow up and just be an adult who does things that your, inner child self would have enjoyed. Being creative, etc. And we do a bunch of improv, make things up. But yeah, get into a book 3. I have another poetry book that's only half finished I should get to. And one other project that I started on the weekend that I gotta get to. Nuance. Ooh, Nuance 6. And a real nice 6. Too late though, too late. Gotta hate yourself for the rest of the week. What is this? I cannot. Ron's dead. Written in GTA font. Anyway, that's about it. What time is it? 10 after 10. Did pretty good today. Finished before 11 for once. And it's still almost 2 hours of drawing time. And that's all I can really mentally, physically afford, because this is what I do all day long at the Streamlabs, except I do it on a computer, and I animate it, like I said. Today I was doing some adorable cats, some logo designs, and an animated Muppet Terminator character thing, shooting, going crazy. And then I'm like, can I even do any more drawing? And apparently, yes I can. Got one more left in me, and tomorrow I'll try to work on a different project and work my way up to a Christmas tree, and then maybe I'll bring all of these characters out by the tree, which means just moving this camera, and they'll automatically come, and maybe we'll do a Christmas episode when it gets to Christmas by the Christmas tree. The chair is out there where I used to do this stream for at least once. But anyway, thank you everybody. Follow here, follow there, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe wherever you can. Thanks for everybody new who showed up. Thanks as always to Pat for keeping an eye on the ne'er-do-wells and troublesome racists and whatnot that pop up in streams. And of course, thanks to Dinosaurs. Always thanks to Dinosaurs. But no, seriously, as always, don't stab anybody. Just enjoy the things you do instead of trying to tear down the things that other people are doing. And, I don't know, if you're in Truro, stop by the Truro Market. If I have a table, I'll have stickers. If I don't have a table, I still have stickers. I can still sell you stickers. Anyway, I think that's it. I think that's about it. Yeah, you're just rambling and wondering how to end, as if you're supposed to go until 10:30, like you have to fill time, but you don't have to fill time. You just stop. Like even right now. Yeah, I don't have to ramble for no reason whatsoever, trying as hard as I can to continually speak without stopping in any way, shape, or form, so that my mustache and my words are always in some sort of a constant sync. But eventually you run out of words. I never run out of words. I can talk for hours and hours. Do you want me to talk for hours and hours? Also, can I be your all-year tree boy? We never really got around to talking about whether or not I could be the all-year. Hey, I warned you. 3-sentence limit. That hurts. That wicked hurts. But anyway, good night, everybody. Thanks a lot. Let's see those sweet credits, Ripley. We did need to cut to yourself before you go to the credits, though. I know, just hit the credits button. Thank you. Every Tuesday around this time. We're having streams, having some fun. Ordered some gear to play video games as well. Jordan Rowe heard he does the music for this. Sounds real good. Follow Audience on Facebook. Anyway, buy all the stuff. Tell you guys next week.